This year marks a very important milestone for us at Niagara College. We're thrilled to be celebrating the first anniversary of the Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Blueprint. And this video reflects the incredible progress that we've made together as a college community. Today we'll hear from our inspiring EDI Catalysts and VP champions as they share their experiences implementing the blueprint and the impact that it's having on the work that we're doing together toward fostering a more equitable and inclusive learning and work environment where everyone feels a sense of place and belonging.
When I was looking at Niagara and thinking about, okay, where does the EDI portfolio sit? Where is the plan? How does it sit relative to the strategic plan? I loved that the blueprint was separate from the strat plan because the strat plan is time limited and EDI work is a lifelong project towards achieving equity, which is a dynamic state of being. And I also love the fact that it was reflective of a community collaboration because this is grassroots work, regardless of how it's structured and organized. It's grassroots work.
What's amazing about this work is the strong partnership with our students. As you said, it is grassroots, and from the outset, we were very conscious of the fact that this isn't a job for a unit or a person, but this is a shared community effect.
I just find with accessibility and with all aspects of EDI, it's never done. It's evolving all the time, right?
Yeah.
And so we got to embrace, I think, that change is a part of accessibility and it's not a one and done.
Often when we travel to different countries and work, especially in gender space and sustainability, I often get asked the question, well, so how did you achieve that? And well, we say we haven't. At least I can say that now at Niagara College, having the blueprint, we have the framework. So we are on the right track.
We're really being thoughtful about the ways that we're engaging people around understanding Indigenous ways of knowing, being, and doing. I mean, we have our Indigenous education team, phenomenal team of folks who support our Indigenous students, but they alone can't do all the work.
I think the fact that we are building the model along as we go is what's going to make it effective. I don't think that anybody has truly cracked the code on how to have a great experience for Indigenous students in education, if I'm being honest. We're being very intentional in our approach. We're making that time to eat together and to spend time together and to get to understand our own values. And so when we do start really applying it, it's going to feel so real.
I couldn't agree more. I think the steps we're making moving forward are so meaningful, and as we move as a collective, I think the meaningful work will really reflect in the next coming years.
Our sustainability group, as they sponsor events or as they attend other events, they bring along their SDG cubes. So when there is a hot breakfast for students, all of the sustainable development goals that tie into that are connected to it.
Ultimately, we can't protect our environment if we're also not thinking about our vulnerable communities. Our vulnerable communities don't care about carbon emissions or recycling if they can't feed themselves or if they don't feel safe. So we have a responsibility to look at everything through both of those lenses.
Project Refresh is aimed to create more welcoming and diverse spaces, and we've since initiated a ton of accessibility projects. We were able to consult with numerous departments and schools and programs and students on all levels, and that exposure to it really puts me in a position to want to advocate more than ever. We're reviewing our existing campuses and really looking to improve these spaces and ensure that our overall college community can see themselves reflected in it.
Our NCSAC Pride Parade, which happened for the first time on Niagara College campuses. It was beautiful to see, and the students were so happy and celebrating on campus.
We had the Trans Day of Awareness, which was a terrific insight into some of the challenges that our trans students face. And we had our Black Student Voices, which again raised some very simple but powerful things that we can do to help some of our students feel more engaged, more included, and more empowered. One of the very exciting things that we did in partnership with NCSAC was to put in our crosswalks.
I remember my first day of interviewing with the college, literally walking across that pathway I had chills. And that was a big question for me coming from Toronto. What is the landscape like around sexual and gender diversity? The fact that there was such a symbolic and embodied way of crossing a road, that's pretty significant.
I heard a lot of students say the same thing. I feel safe here, I feel welcome here, and that is the biggest compliment a college could ever get.
Momentum has been awesome. Voices that have not been heard in the past are being heard, which is helping to push the work forward even more. It's a journey that's ongoing. It's a journey that's made up of good company. It's not just a few people, but it's a community, and I think it bodes very well for our future.